So the latest adventure that we are on is cats. So one of the cats that our neighbor dumped on us, actually their cat that they had for like 2 or 3 years, and then they just decided they didn't want her anymore. She is this little beauty right here. Isn't she gorgeous? She looks a lot better than when we first got her. When we first got her, we didn't realize how fluffy she was. Her fur was kind of like, not mangy, but it was like matted and yuck. After lots of brushing and some bathing and some really good nutrition, she is so fluffy and soft. And, oh. Yeah, huh? You're a pretty girl. So the thing is, we've had her for, I'm going to say, 3-4 months now. Maybe longer. And she has spent most of that time behind our washer. Like, literally, our washer is a mess. There's crap all over it, but our washer is pulled out. Where's my finger? Pulled out. See? It's pulled out a little bit because she goes back there. And she hides back there. And we've had to pull it out and clean behind there because she's pooped and peed back there because she's been terrified and not wanting to come out. Because she's not at home. And she was scared. She got brought over here in a backpack. Well, then what happened is we have Ziva, who is our adult calico that is almost 6 years old now. Who's our grumpy cat, who is right here. You're okay, Frozen. I just figured out how she's been getting out. She just opened my door. Like, I just watched her open the door. We've all been at odds with each other, thinking somebody's leaving our red door, but she just freaking opened it. You're too smart for your own good. Come here, though. Can I put you on camera? Can I show you some love on camera? Are you gonna let me? Come here. This is Ziva. Are you mad at me? I love you, you grumpy brat. She's a grump. She's a freaking grump, I swear to God. She's always, oh, Wicket wants to play. Oh, you want to play? Hi, baby. He's running after me. He's like, Mama! He gets locked in the room when it's time to eat because he's so little. He's still kind of litter training. I mean, he knows to use the litter, but when they're this young, if they're on one side of the house and the litter's on the other side of the house, they're going to have an accident. So whenever he eats, we put him in here, and then he's in here for like an hour because he eats. And I can monitor that because he eats, he still gets formula. I'm not giving him bottles anymore now, but I mix the formula with some wet food and a little bit of dry food, and he can eat that now. So, you have a full tummy now? Yeah, pretty boy. Anyways, so Frozen, I really want to change her name though, because that's the name they gave her, and I feel like with a new life, she should have a new name. But I can't think of anything that fits her. I've thought of so many names, and I got a lot of good suggestions on TikTok, and none of them, like, fit her. So, anyways, as she started coming out from behind the washer and started to try to, like, get comfortable, which took several weeks, Ziva started attacking her. Not like normal little kitty, like, nothing like I've ever seen before. And I've worked with hundreds of cats, and I've never seen anything like this. Like, she would, like, hunt her down, and it looked like she was trying to kill her. It was awful. And Ziva is the most anxious cat. She doesn't play at all. Never really has. Ever since we got her. She's so traumatized. She was dumped on the side of the road, and that's where, and a friend of mine that works at a vet, the vet had rescued them, and then we took Ziva in from them. And she already was kind of a bitch. And then it got even worse when Judah was in the hospital. We didn't find her like a foster home or anything because we thought Judah was only going to be in the hospital for 2 weeks. So we had a friend that came and fed her and changed her litter and everything for us. And then the way it worked when Judah was in the hospital was it was like, oh, he's gonna go home next week. And then something would happen. Oh, well, now it's 1 more week, and then 1 more week, and then 1 more week. So we kept thinking we were going to be going home any day now. And so we never thought to put her in a foster home because we're going to be home any day now. Well, then it got to the point where we'd been there for 3 months, and we knew at that point he couldn't go home with a with more than one artificial thing in his body. He had a shunt in his heart, and then he had the trach, and then those two together, they wouldn't send him home until one of those was replaced. So we knew we were going to be there at least 5 or 6 months total till they took the shunt out and repaired his heart. And but at that point, she'd been here for so long by herself, we were like, what's the point in getting her a foster now? Like, she's already been here by herself. She's already freaking traumatized by it. So, and we were so busy with Judah, like, we couldn't go find her. Like, we didn't have the time to, like, drive all the way back down here because the hospital's a few hours away. Find her a foster home, like, to make sure the people are okay and everything, and that they're going to take good care of her. And it just, Judah was our main focus. So poor Ziva got neglected, and we came home after 8 months. We came home, and she was so happy to see us. It's like the only time I've ever seen her, like, happy. But she is even more of a bitch since then, and she's very, very anxious. Everything, like, she literally jumps at her own shadow. She literally jumps at the sound of her bell on her collar sometimes. Like, she's so anxious, and I feel so bad. Please don't give me hate. It's one of those things, like, hindsight's always 20/20. I'm like, oh my God, we should have got her a foster from the get-go, but we didn't. And then we were so focused on our human child that we completely neglected her, and I feel awful about it. I'm just thankful we had friends that were really good about coming and feeding her every single day and scooping her litter every single day instead of her just suffering here completely by herself. Anyways, so she's really anxious. She avoids other cats. She runs out of the room. Like, this teeny tiny little thing, she doesn't want to be around him. When I brought Knox home at 2 weeks, she'd run out of the room. She just does not like other cats. She's really anxious and afraid of everything. This cat is afraid of everything. So for her to attack Frozen was like, what? Well, I mean, my husband and I were so confused. Like, I don't know. Huh? We thought Frozen was dying or something, and Ziva was trying to put her out of her misery. Because this is so, like, not normal behavior for her at all. She's never been aggressive. In fact, she's usually picked on by the other cats. The other cats usually, Knox picked on her all the time. Like, daily would pick on her. Knox got squirted so many times just for being ornery and antagonizing her. And the other cats do too. They'll pick on her sometimes. So she's just like the bottom of the bunch. So for her to go after Frozen, we're like, there has to be some reason, because she's not an aggressive cat at all. And Frozen has very audible breathing from her nose, and she like sneezes a lot, and I thought maybe she has a upper respiratory infection or something. Or maybe something stuck in her nose, but something going on that's hurting her. So Ziva's attacking her to like put her out of her misery, because animals are known to do that. But nope, she checks out. Everything's fine. She wasn't fixed when we got her. My neighbor never fixed her. Obviously, all the cats we got from my neighbor originated from this cat. She's the grandma of some of the kittens we have here now. And she got fixed, and Ziva still was attacking her. We tried separating them, and Ziva was still attacking her. Sorry, my eyes are getting red. I just cleaned my closet a little while ago, and now walking into my room, like, my allergies are the dust. Ugh. Anyways, she's still attacking her, and the only thing left to do, honestly, other than end up getting rid of one of them, is a reintroduction. I don't remember the guy who posted about this on YouTube, is like famous for it on YouTube, I guess. Basically, they're separated. So Ziva's in our room, and Frozen's out there. And Ziva stays in here, and Frozen stays out there, except for every few days, we'll switch them and let them be in opposite territories, so their smell is over the other territory for a few hours, and then we'll switch them back. And then I feed them, and Ziva's fed right here. She's probably like 5 or 6 feet from our bedroom door. And then Frozen's about 5 or 6 feet from the bedroom door on the other side with her wet food. And all the other cats are locked up, so they're not interfering with us at all. And every couple days, the bowls move a little bit closer to the door. So hopefully they start to associate the smell of each other with food time and so they have that positive association with each other. And then once they can eat on either side of the door, they can eat their wet food without anything going on. Then we will crack the door open a little bit so they can see each other a little bit, just so they have a little bit more stimulation from each other. And then once they can eat just fine with that, then we'll open the door all the way and let them eat. There's a baby gate right there now. And then hopefully they can eat right next to each other and not have any issues. But at this point in time, Frozen is terrified. Every time she hears the bell on Ziva's collar, she runs and hides. It's not as bad now. In the week and a half, almost 2 weeks, Ziva's been in here, because we've been doing this really slow, because Frozen's terrified. She's absolutely terrified of Ziva. Like just now, I had scooted the bowl a little closer today, actually, and Frozen heard her bell, and she stopped eating and started to run away. And I caught her and moved the bowl back to where it was, and now she's eating. So she needs a couple more days right there before I can move it closer. But, yeah, that's what we're doing right now, is trying to keep these cats from killing each other. And I feel so bad, too, because I don't know, if this doesn't work, I don't know what we're going to do. Because on the one hand, I feel like if we have to rehome one of them, we should rehome Frozen, because she's only been here a few months. Ziva, we've had for almost 6 years. So, obviously, Ziva has, like, seniority, so we would have to rehome Frozen. But on the other hand, Ziva does not get along with any of the other cats in the house. She's super grumpy. She's swatted at the kids before. Like, the kids know not to touch her and not to go near her. She's like, okay, she's not aggressive. She just, if they touch her and her, she's like, get away from me. And they're pretty good about that, about not going near her. They know she's mean. But, like Aiden did a couple weeks ago, and I was like, why? You know Ziva scratches. Why did you go near her? And she's like, I don't know. So then on the other hand, I'm like, Ziva's the one that should be rehomed, because Frozen has started playing with the other cats out here. She plays with him. They're like buds, actually. It's really cute. And she's just such a good addition to the family. All the cats like her. The kids like her. She's a fabulous cat. I don't know why my neighbor wanted to rehome her. Like, she's literally the perfect cat. She will cuddle with you when you want, and she's so soft and fluffy. Oh, you went down now, bud? You want to get down? She plays with the other cats. She plays with us. She's got a great personality. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you don't want down? Want down or not? My toddler's knocking on the door. She's ready to come out from nap time. So I better wrap this up. Anyways, great. She's a fabulous cat. She's like the perfect cat. And then she's gorgeous. She's got that fluffy coat. So soft. She's got those big, beautiful eyes. So I'm like, why did they want to rehome her? She's a fabulous cat. So I'm really hoping this works, because I don't want to have to rehome either one of them. Honestly, I wouldn't know who I would. Like, Ziva's got seniority. Ziva's been our cat for much longer, so Ziva should have a right to stay here. But at the same time, Ziva's just stress and anxiety, and Frozen's a delight. So, yeah, hopefully it doesn't come to that, though. Hopefully this works, and sometime in the next few weeks, they'll be able to get along real well, and all that jazz. And then that little guy is the guy that I told you about, that I was picking up a new foster a couple videos ago. He had horrific diarrhea. Like, it was just water coming out of his butt, basically. And, come to find out that the girl who was taking care of him was not doing a good job. So her friend took him from her, and then her friend found me and gave him to me. And her friend had taught her how to take care of him, and I guess she didn't like it. Like, she showed her how to stimulate them to go poo, because he was little enough that he couldn't go poo on his own. She said she didn't really want to. It was gross, so we're assuming she didn't do it. And she also said that she was giving him adult cat food, watered down so it was soft, instead of bottle feeding. Or I guess she bottle fed him sometimes, but overnight would do that instead of waking up in the middle of the night to feed him. So he had this horrific diarrhea, and it was a combination of two of those. The adult cat food, gonna give him diarrhea. It's not the nutrition he needs. And then, since she didn't stimulate him to poo, he was constipated. And what can happen in any animal is when you get really constipated, then some of the runny feces will like leak out around the hard impacted stool and then just leak out. That actually happened to one of our kids. They had, I'm not going to say who, but they had diarrhea, and that was why. They had impacted stool, and it was just like leaking around it. So, poor little guy was miserable. I mean, we couldn't even tell that he was a boy when we got him because of how swollen his anus was from this liquid poo. But within 24 hours, he had one bout of diarrhea, and then he had 11 solid stools. That's insane. They usually have 1 or 2 a day. Maybe 3. He had 11 solid stools. So he was super constipated. And then I had him on kitten formula only, and now he's slowly transitioning to kitten food, and then he'll transition to adult food as an adult. But so he's doing so much better. He hasn't had any diarrhea. He's got this wonderful little personality. He loves playing with the bigger kitties. He is a cuddle bug. He cuddles with me all night, and whenever he's ready to go to sleep, he comes and finds me. It's so cute. He knows who his mama is. So, yeah, I know a lot of y'all follow me for cat updates, so, and I haven't been putting them on TikTok. I've been sticking to keeping them on here, so I wanted to keep y'all updated. That's what's going on here. And we have 2 new cats. Frozen's 2 daughters, by the way. My neighborhood was going to keep them and then decided not to and brought them here. And while I was in school on Sundays, and Sunday is the day we meet up with the lady who runs the rescue so she can adopt them out. They have like adoption events. And so my husband was supposed to take them, and he loves them, so he never took them. And now they're big enough that they're not going to be very easily adoptable. They're going to just sit there. So we have 2 new cats now. So now we have 7 cats. And I always like to do something special for the cats on holidays. So Christmas this year. Coupon Katie, if you're not following her, you should follow her on YouTube and on TikTok. And I don't know if she has Instagram. I should look that up. She just posted something about deals on Chewy for Christmas presents for pets, and I was like, oh, thank God, because I have 7 freaking cats here now. We have 1 cat tower. We're gonna get 2 more, because with 7 cats, 1 cat tower is just not enough. And then get them each like a little treat or toy or something. So I was happy to see that. So anyways, yep, that's what's going on here cat-wise. What are you doing, cutie? Want to take one last look when I say bye-bye? Say bye. Oh, and his name's Wicket because of his big, beautiful eyes. And he's so fluffy, like a little Ewok. So, that's all, folks.